one guy wins the electoral vote. And then they republished the book on February 15th, 2000, just to give you the big middle finger and say, yep, this is what we're going to do, folks.
Look at 1984. Look at Animal Farm. Look at Atlas
Everything.
Shrugs. But when you said that, David, it made me go back and look at books that they would have to tell us. They would have to tell us what they were going to do. And our mind runs through all these books that literally lay out where we are and what we're doing and how long ago they had laid these books out to tell us. They've gotten really good at this.
And so not only do we have Skolnick talking about this intel, we also have Kucinich talking about it in 2003, just a couple of years later, basically confirming everything Skolnick was saying on the House.gov website, the official congressional website. Says, yeah, this voting system is terrible. They can go in, they can read what the votes are, they can change them, they can erase the records. We got witnesses. And then you find out, yeah, guess what? They're trying to shake down the state of Maryland. California says we don't want these machines. You changed the software on us, unauthorized. And then also, it goes on and on and on, folks. This congressional rematch, where it's down to just a few votes and they're counting chads, it's ridiculous. It was all a scam. It was just a fight between two wealthy and powerful entities that had slightly different agendas. But the one thing they always agree on, and I'm sure you'll agree with me on this, even if they fight to the death with each other, both sides absolutely must keep the secrecy of what they're up to. They will never reveal the secrecy, but they will fight to the death. That has all changed since 2016. In our opinion, my opinion, your opinion, many other people's opinion, you have
71 million.
Well, yeah. There's this letter of the alphabet that we've talked about a bunch of times, and now you can't even talk about it at all. But they just said recently, nothing can stop what is coming is actually NCSWIC, which is the national whatever, I forget the name, but it's basically an election certification organization, and that's under CISA. And just this week, they fired CISA, which is supposed to be overseeing how elections work. And they said, nothing can stop what is coming is not just an acronym. So there's something big vectoring in, and I will give you guys a little bit of a briefing. I can't say too much right now, but I will tell you that the people in the alliance are literally doing jumping jacks with excitement over the seizure of this server from Germany. They say it is much, much bigger than we realize. This thing has got legs like you can't imagine, and the cabal should be very, very, very concerned. Therefore, in all seriousness, and I'm going to say this to you with absolute seriousness right now, I believe that what we are about to head into, folks, is the most dangerous moment in American history that we've ever had. The capacity for these people to try to do something else, to try to steer it back, is practically limitless. So I do recommend that you just have simple provisions. You have some rice, you have some beans, you have several 5-gallon jugs of stored water, because we have been getting over and over again that you might not be able to leave the house. Serious crazy stuff could start to happen, and you might not be able to leave the house for as long as 4 to 6 months. Okay? And that has been leaked, so I'm not the first one to say that. I'm not getting in trouble saying that, okay? But this whole thing could go from being something that we're talking about to something that becomes very, very kinetic. Something that could even involve another big country, the main rival, siding with the DS and big tech. That rival could actually begin doing actual kinetic warfare. This could all happen. So please, I don't want to put any fear porn into the show. And that's why we're going to end again with a small meditation, try to keep it to around 3 hours.
Yeah, people need to stay really calm.
But I don't want you to panic, but I do want you to be prepared.
I agree.
Because anything can happen. Power grid could go down, wars could start, 7 different cities that have mass stuff going on at the same time. I'm not even going to say the second word. You know what mass means. Mass S's. Anything. I mean, we don't even know what they got. What is their last card that they could play? There could be something. The Alliance is trying to prepare for all this. But folks, please, even if you don't believe me, just have some stuff on hand. Because we don't really know. And depending on
the intelligence people, what they're saying, I see utter terror. I listened to what they're saying, and the thing that got me this afternoon was Barack. Mm-hmm. When Barack said to keep one shred of dignity, you need to concede right now, President Trump.
Ridiculous.
This is a ex-president. This is an ex-president who knows the law.
Mm-hmm.
Who knows the law, and he knows what December the 8th is. That is the deciding point of what happens. He knows this. Okay? And for him to come on and say that only shows me utter terror, David.
Yep.
And you look at Brennan.
Or Brennan when he said...
I thought he was going to cry. I thought he was going to cry on national television. I'm sorry, but I thought he was going
The
to cry.
president must be removed right now.
Yeah, I mean,
even before the election results are
yeah,
done.
I mean,
just get rid of him.
He's got to, because we're going to get caught and joke and bury it.
God.
It's amazing. It's amazing for we to find ourselves where we are. But you know what? I have this faith in the divine nature of righteousness, and that there are forces that, like you said, the karma of what we've lived with, I think, since 1871 is now, and now the voting machine story, it's so obvious that this is a time to cleanse our country.
The karma must be paid back. These people must be held accountable. And I am so grateful that, like, in a kind of a meta-analysis way, that all of these different things are coming out at the same time.
Everything's happening all at once.
The Luciferian stuff, the voting now, that we've gone through the whole history of that. The symbolism has become so obvious. They've done it so many times in Super Bowl halftime shows, Grammy Awards, Olympic opening and closing ceremonies, all these movies, all these music videos, and you hear this crappy music playing in the restaurant. You go back and you watch the video, and it's crazy satanic. And over again, I've done this. And then you got this girl who, let's talk again real quick, as I've done in many other videos, about the Grammys in this year 2020. And you got the girl who sweeps the entire award ceremony, and it was totally rigged. The woman who was running the thing resigned, right?
Everybody said that.
And she wins something like 19 Grammys. It was even more than Christopher Cross for an actually really good album that he won. But and then when she comes out, she's got the mask on. She's got the mask on that nobody knew about at that point. Nobody thought we'd have to wear these. She comes out with the mask on. She wins all these Grammys, and you go back and look at her videos, and she's got black eyes and big bat wings and black stuff hanging off of her. They're very, very disturbing. So
it just shows that all the celebrities are attacking the present administration. Everybody who can put pressure on this is the way it works, a certain way. It has worked this way since the inception of the Constitution. The day that is decided has been written history historically. So we'll see. Right there is what everybody needs to prepare for with what you're saying.
Yep.
Don't be dumb enough to get caught with your hands in your pockets. Do not. You never know. In this frenetic nature about how the internet works, what you can do, what we're seeing on the surface could be nothing like what's really happening if you listen to Snowden and you listen to Assange.
And I would just say that, the most important things would be like rice, beans, canned sardines, canned tuna, canned soup, water, get your toilet paper, get your Kleenex tissue, whatever else kind of stuff you want, because there could be disruptions in the supply of goods and services. There could be
anything.
We have no idea. I mean, they are going down, and they know it. And that's why all the headlines on Drudge and everything, they're not even talking about Joe anymore. They're only talking about the CV thing, the thing that's spreading, right? And they keep saying, oh, there's so many cases, and now we got to do this again. Now we got to do this again. Folks, you can believe what you want, but the evidence doesn't look good. It doesn't look good. Now, I don't advocate violence at all, and I never have. And we never would do that here. All I'm saying is, when the POTUS lost, did any of his people do anything?
Mm-mm.
Not a thing. Okay, you got to remember that, because what they're also going to try to do is blame all of it on his people. They're going to say it's all because of the letter of the alphabet, and it's all because they support this guy. No, that's not what it is. And you got to be smart enough to think through this. So we are going to get our freedom. My dreams are very confident about this. And this is what needs to happen. It's a spiritual imprimatur. It must be moved forward.
I agree.
And I believe ultimately the reason for this is that we live in a spiritual universe. And so you asked me to throw this one in, so we're going to do it. Back to the slides. The DNA experiments that we already have prove that we are part of a living, conscious universe. The universe is alive.
Remember this, everybody.